India is setting the ground for the post-pandemic world. It is slowly but surely stepping into a leadership role. There are unprecedented visits, cementing of ties, outreach programs, formation of strategic alliances, and tapping into opportunities. Let me begin with a recap. In October this year, India's Army Chief, General M.M. Naravane, was in Myanmar. The next month, he was in Nepal. Between the 2nd and the 3rd week of December, General Naravane visited Saudi Arabia and the UAE. The Army Chief's visit to Saudi Arabia was unprecedented. It came on the heels of Riyadh's deteriorating ties with Islamabad. Pakistan's Army Chief, General Bajwa, was not allowed to meet the Saudi Crown Prince in August. And here you had the Indian Army Chief meeting top Saudi generals. General Naravane's visit also came on the heels of India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's visit to the UAE and Bahrain. As we speak, India's External Affairs Minister is in Qatar. It's a two-day visit. Dr. S. Jaishankar attended an India-Qatar business roundtable, interacted with the Indian community there. He is also expected to meet the Qatari Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman bin Jassim Al Thani. At least 700,000 Indians live in Qatar. Many Indian workers have benefited from Qatar's recent labour reforms, which includes a 25% hike in the minimum wage and dilution of a clause that required workers to take the employer's consent before switching jobs. In 2019, the bilateral trade between Qatar and India was worth almost $11 billion. The Qatar Investment Authority has invested $600 million in two Indian firms. Jaishankar's visit is expected to focus on trade and energy cooperation. But let's just zoom out for a moment, and you will see that the visit goes way beyond all of this. It has a lot to do with West Asia's shifting sands and an emerging post-pandemic world, one that is built on strategic alliances. India views West Asia as its extended neighborhood. West Asia is putting an end to historical and regional disputes. In the last 5 months, 4 Arab countries have formalized ties with Israel, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, the Sudan, Morocco and Bahrain. The Gulf Cooperation Council countries, or the GCC countries, recently held talks on ending a rift with Qatar. It is talking about lifting air, land and water blockades of Qatar. Why do you think all of this is happening at this time? Because this region now has a common enemy, Iran. It just so happens that Iran is getting closer to China. Now, here's a question. Which country does India have a standoff with in Ladakh? China, of course. Do you get the point? Do you see something in common here? India's ties with West Asia are no longer anchored on just oil, diaspora and remittances. The relationship is now strategic. There are common foes. West Asia is distancing itself from Pakistan. It is coming together against Iran. And both Iran and Pakistan are close to China, a country that India has a border dispute with. The virtual GCC discussion was held this morning at a time when India's Foreign Affairs Minister is in Qatar. Look at the timing of the visit. As we speak, there is another very significant visit that is underway. India's Army Chief is on a 3-day visit to South Korea. Now, Seoul has been one of India's major weapon suppliers. It also happens to be a country that is witnessing growing rift with China. Let's talk about the Army Chief's visit first. General Naravane's agenda is clear: bolstering military cooperation. He will be calling on the Korean Defense Minister, the Army Chief, the Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, and Korea's Minister of Defense, Acquisition, Planning and Administration, basically the who's who of South Korea's defense sector. Now consider this. South Korea is fighting Chinese aggression in the East China Sea. It is pushing for maritime rules-based order. There is also an online war. South Korean band BTS faced a backlash from Chinese state media. So do you see the common foe here as well? A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the post-pandemic world order, and I told you how the task before India was to aim for greater global outreach, develop stronger relations with like-minded countries, and leverage the partnership model. Well, what we see today is New Delhi doing just that. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.